up your head, pick up your body. Get on the bus, it's time to party. It's Gregory. It is a Saturday night, Gregory. Take your socks off and take your pants on. Get in the car and drive.
Hello, everybody. Mike's got a heart out, so we got to be in quick. I'm Greg Stone. This is the podcast Friday Night Greg. Surprise that got Patreon.
Yeah. We got 5 minutes.
We got 2 minutes. We got to get 45 minutes in 2 minutes because Mike's got a heart out. I'm only just cocksucker. I'm only paying him to do nothing. No, I'm just kidding. He's not doing anything. He's doing what I do.
No,
I'm
he's
so
lovely.
sorry.
He was our podcast
On what
producer.
podcast was that?
Vag.
Where can that be
And then
downloaded?
we ended it because we could not afford Mike. He was making more money than we were.
You fell for one of the oldest podcast blunders of all time. You did a move where you said, I'm going to pay this guy some cash.
Yeah.
What I do is I pay him in comedy advice.
Yeah.
Where I sit him down for an hour and I say,
You can break my brain.
you pick me. I go, ask me anything. And then he goes, I don't have any questions. And I go, well, that's your payment this week.
Yeah. That's your problem.
Or you do a percentage deal with them so that if no deal, he doesn't make any money, it doesn't matter on him. When your podcast fails, you blame him.
That is smart.
Mike
I should
gets
have
about
done that.
30 cents every episode.
My new thing is I am not doing anything in life that is not business smart.
Smart. Hit me with this. And we got to get in. I have so many things on the docket. I got a full paper of questions.
Sure. Thursday night, I did 2 spots. Very grateful for the spots.
Mm-hmm.
But the no trains running to Astoria after midnight, and my spots were late.
Still?
Yeah. I managed. I don't know why they at Union Square nothing was happening. No cabs available. I looked into Lyft.
Mm-hmm.
$54. I lost money doing stand up on Thursday night. Friday night, 70 quitted me for $78. So I just took the train home
Furious.
at 2 a.m.
I would have been. Are you crazy? I would have started walking. I probably would have been like, fuck you, trains. I'm walking. I'd have started walking. I would have got tired. Then I would have got a thing and I would have been screaming the whole time. Yeah. I would have waited for the train till tomorrow morning.
Yeah. I got fortunate that Friday, for some reason, the longest I had to wait for a train Friday at 2 a.m. was 8 minutes.
Really?
It was a blessing. I got there faster than probably taking a cab.
8 minutes to wait. I have to breathe for a second. I have too much caffeine.
Sure. We came in hot. We should.
Just got to breathe a minute.
Should we take a 5-minute break?
I know Mike has a heart out, but Mike, we got to take a break. We got to take a quick 10-minute break if you could. Yeah, they're doing the train traffic, fixing the trains now. And it's
I never know when, and I never do research.
Don't ever.
Yeah.
I never know when the train is coming.
Head out.
I just go.
Yeah.
And then I wait as long as that wait is. But it's like, why are you doing construction? It's not like you had, a full year to do all this.
Absolutely.
And they're doing nothing.
Yeah. No, I have the same thoughts. Like, couldn't you guys have fixed this a year ago?
I know. Wait, where do you feel more comfortable? Looking in the camera or looking at me?
I have no idea. Do you want me to look out?
I don't know. I like a little bit of both.
I can check in.
I feel, here's what I get worried about. If I look in the camera, it's fun because I'm not looking directly at you, and I'm a very beta male. So anytime I look at someone in the eyes, I cower in fear.
Yes,
so
and that people are like, do you have autism? You're like, no, I just extremely low self-esteem.
I'm not worthy to look at you in the face. So I'll just look down. So it's fun because you can look in the camera, and then it's not like I'm looking at you because I'm just looking at myself.
Yeah, well, I don't want to look at myself. It's like when you do stand-up and they put a mirror right across from the stage, and you're like, oh my God.
You don't love that?
No. Then I'm like this, hey, you.
See,
look at you.
This is the problem. I can tell you, I can fix this. I can. And you just see no one in the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no one is even laughing or enjoying me. What I do with the mirror is great. Because if I look in the mirror, I see someone performing and I don't see that as me.
Yeah.
I see that as some fat, ugly guy having a good time that I can control. So I'll start like dancing and doing like more moves. And I'm like, look what I'm doing to that fat, ugly guy in the mirror. Because I disassociate that that's actually me.
Yeah.
Right. So like right now I'm looking at Greg through the camera and I don't feel like that's me. I just feel like I'm watching a show and that guy's fun.
Look at all of his toys behind him. His figures.
Like I like that guy on TV because he's like a ugly guy that's fun to watch. But once I accept that he's me, I want to blow my brains out. Because I don't want to be that guy. But I like, kind of like John Lovitz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You love John Lovitz. But imagine having to look in the mirror and be John Lovitz.
Be that guy? No.
I know.
Well, no, but I have the opposite. When I see myself, then it makes me more self-aware. And
Oh,
then
really?
I'm like, I don't really like the way I look on camera.
Mhm.
So then I'm like, ooh,
No, you look great.
it gets sad.
Look at that. That's you. You look great. Look at that little head you have.
make me, it is tiny.
Because look at this big head next to you.
Look at, I'm like this. That's the size of my head right there.
Oh boy, I had to clean this place.
No, it's great. Anyway, let's get into
We
it.
want to get it. I got the paperwork.
Yeah.
I wrote down hot questions for Sarah.
Hot
'Cause
questions.
These are hot questions.
Well, we were also talking about Michael Bolton before we
We're gonna get that. I gotta write. Actually, let me write that down.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to forget that. What's
Great.
Michael?
Let me take a sip of my coffee.
Yeah. Also, take sips whenever you like. That's what I like about this podcast. Is we're not really.
I know you guys are pretty loose. You let me.
Who's you
drink
guys? It's
whenever-
just me.
Yeah. Well, you're a team. It's a team.
Yeah, right. And Michael.
It's a
so
brand.
nice.
You're a brand.
The brand.
Yeah.
And I gotta say this: you don't know how dangerously close before. You had mentioned you said Thursday night before, but you almost said Friday night. And if you would have said Friday night, I legally have to dump a bucket of water on you, like Nickelodeon.
I
That's
love
like the
that.
secret. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
Friday night, Greg. If you say Friday night, I pull a rope, slime. You get slimed.
That's amazing. You know, yesterday I just watched a wrestling fail on Instagram.
Mhm.
They were supposed to pour a bucket of blood on one wrestler and it went next to him. So it just looked like somebody had a really horrific accident from the top tier.
Someone was murdered from the vents.
But they have to keep a straight face.
Blood?
It's Joe showed it to me.
What blood? My brother?
No, Joe, my husband.
That's right. Second Joe to think of.
Yeah, there's a lot of Joes in this region.
Not even Italian,
Yeah,
which is like upsetting. Wait,
Irish.
what kind of blood?
Fake blood, kind of like
Oh,
from the movie
like cow
Carrie.
blood.
They were
Yeah.
he was doing like I'm coming down, I'm gonna fuck you up, and then it was supposed to pour blood.
Professional-
Yeah. What did you think?
High school wrestling team. They were going to pour blood on some kid. And I was like, I don't know. That seems like a weird thing to do to your coach or whatever.
Why isn't there a high school
Like the Gatorade. But
wrestling team though? Like in
a high school professional wrestling
Yeah.
team. Yes, there should
where
be.
they teach them how to like talk shit into
Right.
the camera.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Choose your character.
It'd be acting. It's just like
Yeah.
acting.
It's part of theater and athletics.
We could do that.
I don't know why there isn't high school professional wrestling.
Right. There should be. We could start it. We could probably go to, there's a high school down the block if you want to try to pitch it.
Yeah.
You and me to get, of course, I'm jumping in on this.
No, I'm like totally into this.
We'll be like, hey, we want to teach, we want to start a collegiate professional wrestling team.
Yeah. Because it's a
Um,
career choice as well.
Right. But it's like one company. Like maybe two companies that do it. So you really got to be good.
Yeah.
You start your own.
But start them early.
You got to pick you got to like, all right, you got to start picking about your character. Do you want to be
Yeah.
a garbage man? Do you want to be a dead man? Do you want to be the postman? What do you want to be?
Yeah.
That's fun.
The teacher.
They're probably like, I don't want to be, I don't identify as a character. All these liberal high school kids,
I
hate.
know.
Ugh, you have
But
to.
then you're like, that's fine.
That's fine. That's your
Choose
character.
whatever. Yeah.
That is kind of a funny wrestling character.
Yeah.
Someone to come out who goes, I don't identify as a wrestler. He's getting beat up. all the
Triggering. Trigger guy.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got to calm down. This coffee is too strong.
Yeah. Is it
And
Stumptown?
What's Stumptown?
Stumptown's like coffee, I guess, on the maybe Portland area. I did it.
Yes,
I've
I
been
got
doing
this
it-
coffee from the Portland area.
Well, yeah, the beans. No, because I've been getting the ones in the can and it's like $5. And I'm like, why am I can just do bodega coffee for $2.
Mm.
But it gets you amped up.
I'm so amped right now that my brain is going faster than my mouth.
Yeah.
And I can't think.
That's
so you
fine.
just need to host this thing.
Okay.
I'll write my questions.
All right.
It
Let's
says,
get
have
into
you
it.
been molested? Which I'm realizing now could be not a great thing to ask somebody. Because I was thinking about the time I was molested for fun as a kid. Like I just like weirdo guy. This guy
Okay.
Dayon, who was just kind of like laid on me and tried to kiss me. And I was like, oh, I'll talk about Dayon. But I'm realizing, have you been molested is not a good thing to ask someone.
Well,
so
it's
I
funny
think
for
light
this
molestation.
light Well,
Fun.
I didn't know I got molested until
This is
later,
what
and
I'm
it was
talking about. Hang
my
on, let me sit back.
neighborhood kid that actually.
Really?
And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was considered molestation. But now when I look back on it, I'm like, yeah,
What do you do?
just highly inappropriate. Meaning like, well, here's the thing. It's like moved into a neighborhood. The first thing he wanted me to be like naked.
In the neighborhood?
Yeah. Well, like the first time of meeting him,
Walk.
all of a sudden like gets me to the room and is like wants me to be naked. And then my sister's like, no. And I'm like, I'm all of a sudden naked.
You're older too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the beta. She's the alpha. And I got in trouble and I had to go to therapy.
Why did you get in trouble?
I don't know, because I guess it was like
You need to tell me. Hang on.
inappropriate.
Pause. What's the setup here?
Yeah.
This kid is where?
Across the street.
And screaming into your home, get naked?
No, meaning like,
You were
you know,
in the
like
across the street.
acclimated, being like, let's meet the new neighborhood kids.
Right.
And
Uh-huh.
then, yeah, that
And he
was,
said, get naked.
yeah,
And
yeah. Well, you can't say
Nice.
her name.
Tony.
Tony.
Tony goes,
Tony goes,
No.
no. What are we doing?
well, remember
Mike's
that.
going, Yeah.
I'll write it here. Anyway,
It's
so
fine.
Tony goes, no way, Jose.
Yeah, she's out.
But you were already naked.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Probably 4.
Oh, that's young.
Yeah.
How old was this guy?
That's the thing that's so weird. He's probably I think he was 1 year older than I was. 'Cause
5.
He was in the grade above.
Right. So I get it. He's kind of he was inappropriate, but he didn't know that he wasn't all horned up at 5.
Yeah. It wasn't a power. You know, it's not like an adult that I'm supposed to trust for.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. It wasn't an adult that is abusing their trust. It was just like a shitty neighborhood kid.
Right.
Yes. But then I did have one incident later on where I was a little bit older and this felt like a power dynamic. I'm
Mhm.
like, hey, do you want to play a game?
Right.
And then I was like, sure. And then it was like, he tried to finger me. And then I was like this. And then I ran away.
Nice.
And then I kept that secret.
Till now?
No, I told
Oh,
my
God,
sister
please
and
don't be now.
we've laughed about it.
That's the best way to handle a molestation. I gotta be honest. When you laugh about it later.
Yeah. Well, then here's the thing. I told
We
my
had a time.
Yeah. I told my sister, I was like, I don't ever think that ever affected me. And then we remembered that I stripped for a brief moment outside of high school for about 4 months on the weekends. And we were like, that seems about right. One molestation equals
Wait.
about that.
First of all, you did a stint as a stripper?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
When? Where?
I graduated high school and I was drinking, and I remember financially for the family, like we weren't doing well,
Uh-huh.
and I wanted a job that I thought could pay really well
Mhm.
with the least amount of effort so I could still go to school.
Mhm.
And I thought that was that. And then when I did it, I realized you actually have to be a really great salesman
Right.
to be a stripper. And I don't have that in my wheelhouse.
What do you mean? What's the sales pitch?
About yourself. And I feel like that about stand-up too. Like you have to be a really great
Where's the sales?
salesman.
Where though? To the
Well,
club?
yeah, because you're going from guy to guy being like, hey baby, you wanna,
Right.
oh my God, that's so interesting. And like,
Right.
yeah, you have to be like
Like a
this-
podcast host for 5 minutes.
yeah, for 5 minutes. Yeah.
Right.
You have to come in like thinking that your shit don't stink.
You don't just walk over to them and go, what's that? And point to their penis? Hey, what's that?
No.
What's that? Let me touch it. Let me tap it.
No, you have to be like, think you're the best lady in the house.
I'll tell you this. If you ever want to get back in the game, you and me could go see if we could we should be strippers. Not together, but
Yeah.
like I think that you and I should have we go to a strip club and go, I'm Greg, stripper. This is Sarah, stripper, and we want to walk around and see who we can get. If
Yeah.
we look like a buy club,
Yeah.
if it's all guys, I don't care. I'll be like,
I
I'll
think
get
a
the
bike
gay.
club would be
That'd be fun.
hilarious.
I think I could be a good. I'll just go up and I go, put you do the fingers on their shoulder.
Yeah.
The soldier goes
Hey.
to the war, and then you touch their nipples. Send the boys to
Yes.
the ocean.
You tell them what they want to hear.
What do they want to hear?
Oh my God, you own your own business? That's so cool. I wish I could own my own business.
Technically, you do. You're a stripper.
Yeah,
You're
I did.
you're
I'm a
a
1099 employee.
You're a 1099 employee, and that's what you need to bring. That's the thing you can't bring up. You go, you and your business. Oh my God, me too. I'm a 1099 employee.
Where do you file your 1099s? I would be like,
Are you an S corp?
I always wanted to have conversations.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear politics at that time. You have to feed into the male ego.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they come in there and they want to feel special. Maybe
Yeah.
their wives aren't listening to them, or their
Right.
girlfriends, or they don't have a girlfriend.
Mhm.
So you got to be like, oh my God, that's crazy. I can't believe you
So they're
thought
liars?
that.
Strippers are like, so
Yeah.
they're not. I always thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
They're just like, you're just saying they're just bullshitting me.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Here's the thing, oh, he's yelling at me. Here's just why I didn't believe that, because I'd go into most strip clubs and be like, hey, who are you? What's your name? And they would be like, get away from me.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I thought you like they're always mean to me. And I think because some guys like that, but I
do
don't
too.
like that.
I think they do, but that's not. I don't have that wheelhouse skill level to be like, yeah, you like that? You like that, you little bitch?
I bet if you played a character, you could. Like,
Maybe, yeah. If I came in.
Yeah, with a patch. You're like, fuck you, you cocksucker.
With a little fake bird on my shoulder.
This could be our next movie. I will be your strip club DJ, and you're the strip, and we're like 40 years later, and we're trying to open our own. We're trying to get back in the business.
Because it's like comedy shut down. I have to go back to what I did before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also want to play a stripper.
You could.
I love that you don't know that you did. You went.
I went.
You gave me elevator eyes. You went. You want to be a stripper? And you went. I don't think so. Like, let me check it out first.
Yeah, you just did an interview for me.
How did I do?
I'm like this. Okay, you're good. No tattoos.
Just Fox News to me.
Yeah.
How do you know I don't have any tattoos?
I just assume most guys don't.
I have a sparrow on my back.
Do you really?
Yeah, it says "Welcome back, boys." It's a bunch of birds.
Did not.
I do.
Welcome back, boys.
Yeah, because I was in a coma for a few months. When you were a stripper, I was in a coma, and I didn't think I was going to get out of it, and I got out of it. And the doctor said, "Welcome back, boys." And I said, "What's your name?" And he said, "Harvey Sparrow."
I love that. I picture a split screen of our movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching our movie right now. I'm stripping, and you're just like this.
I'm just playing a coma patient the whole time.
Then we meet up here.
Let's get into the docket.
Gotcha.
It says,
so we checked off light molestation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we might get back to that too. I want to tell you about Dayon.
That's
but
our
it says,
callback.
"What's it like having celebrity boyfriend ... thinks he's a celebrity?" This is like a real Zach Galifianakis kind of move.
Yeah, yeah.
There's nothing to say
We're
there.
between two ferns.
I just wanted to, between a bunch of toys.
Between a bunch of
You
toys.
should have said that. That should have been the name of the podcast.
I just pictured it in Helvetica as a title on top of this.
Yeah. What's Helvetica? Which one's that?
It's the number one font that everybody uses.
We should do a podcast called Describing the Font, where every episode, it's for blind people.
Yeah.
We talk about, I have too much coffee in me. This is the dumbest thing I've ever said. But I want to go, what we do is, for the blind,
Yeah.
we look at a font and we describe it to the blind.
You're like, it's sans serif.
Yeah.
I just found out what that means. It means on a font when it has a little tail at the top of it.
Oh,
That's a serif.
I don't know. I don't know fonts. I just
don't
pick
know.
Futura
Yes, that's a good one.
because I like the future.
Yeah.
And I get
And
excited.
it looks clean.
It does a lot of sales from a lot of the font. Sometimes the font name won't be as good as the font.
Yes.
I mean, the font name will be too good for the font. You know, it'll be like
It's too
Explosivo.
fancy. Yeah.
And it's like it's like a bunch of weird numbers. And I'm like, that's not Explosivo.
Webdings.
Yeah.
Who's using Webdings?
I don't know any of these fonts.
Those
I gotta
are
breathe
the
again.
symbol ones.
Right. What is that?
I don't know. I don't understand who's
Who reads
using
that?
Webdings.
And it's standard.
Yeah.
It made standard font. They don't do Spider-Man font.
No. You know what it's like? It reminds me of horse names. You know how horse names are always fancy?
I love a horse name.
Yeah.
Like the sipping of the sun or something it's always long.
Objects in the mirror may appear.
And here he comes down the flat. Objects in the mirror may appear closer, much closer.
I'm like, who names them?
I don't know. They're so weird because you can't. You know what it is? Because they're using those horses for racing. They're not using them for loving.
Yeah.
Because if you were loving them, you're not going to call him the haircut on the diamond, because you can't come here, the haircut on the diamond. Like it's too much to yell, So if you were petting them and loving him, you'd call him Mickey.
That is such a great observation. Those names aren't from a place of love. It's capitalism.
From a place of rich.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like I'm going too fast. Slow me down if you need to.
No, this is
okay.
The right level.
Okay, good. I'm sweating. I'm going to look at the camera again.
Check in.
But yeah, these check-in. Also, you didn't wear your hat.
I didn't. Well, I figured we're on a podcast and I didn't want to be rude.
Do you want to tell us what happened? I thought that was a fun exchange.
What was it? Oh, yes. So Greg asked me to be in a sketch.
Yeah.
And then also asked me to be in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And those are two separate days. And he goes, okay, so 12:30, just checking in 12:30 on Monday. I was thinking this is for the sketch, which was a music video.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, okay, what should I wear?
You said something about a hat. Oh no, I said a hat.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, wear a hat.
Yeah, wear a hat.
Because our crowd likes hats.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay. And then it dawned on me, I'm like, this is for the podcast. But I figured Greg must be like, she like one of those girls that can't make a decision for herself. Like, are we going, what kind of lunch is this? Like, is this, should I wear like a business casual or like, where you're like, I don't know, just put on something. So that's what I was thinking. And it was just like you're like, what a weirdo to ask me what you should wear on a podcast.
I thought you just knew the algorithm so well that you'd be like, what kind of people are your fans?
Yeah.
You said the Fox News red.
Yeah, Fox News red. Because like Fox News makes all their correspondence wear red. And I have there must be some scientific research behind that.
Red is hot.
It looks great. And they're all blonde. So blondes always look pretty good against red.
Well, they are always. That is crazy that they're not getting sued because they literally hire everyone who looks the exact same.
Yeah, it's like the same hiring process of Hooters.
Right.
Yeah.
They're actors.
Yes.
So they can have their hair down because they're actors.
Yes.
And actors doesn't matter if an actor gets their hair in your buffalo wings.
Yes.
Which makes no sense. I also put that Wonder Woman there for you. I always have to put something for the guest.
Thank you.
And I didn't have much time. So
I
was
love
the
Wonder
only
Woman.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
I even watched Wonder Woman 84 and everyone hated it. And I watched it on a plane and I was like, why did this movie even get reviewed? It's actually just really fun. I don't know why people are like, this movie sucks. That you're like, it's fun. I'm not going in watching Wonder Woman to see what artistic value it's bringing to the table.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because I am.
Are you really?
Yes.
Okay.
When I watch superhero movies, I'm going in being like, make it good. Like, make it good. It's a genre. Give me what I love about superheroes, and this is my big thing, is that they allow you to tackle topics. It's the same thing as comedy, right? We can talk about being molested through jokes because it allows us to handle it because we're putting it through jokes. That's what superheroes do. It allows you to talk about things that are kind of harder to talk about through this superhero thing, right?
Yeah.
So like, for me, it was like, the Skrull invasion were like the people who look like you. They're aliens who can look like you or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, that's like what happens when Fox News takes over your family.
Yes.
You know, it's like, you can kind of deal with that through that way. And so when the casual viewer watches a superhero movie, they go, oh, it's just goofy shit in spandex. I go, well, that's because you're not a comic book person. So you don't know how deep this stuff can get. So as a guy who's watching the movies, like, I just want to see them get there.
Yeah.
And the movie people are like, it's all bullshit. And I'm like, no, and you can make this good. I only had that one thing.
Well, I figured, I'm assuming, I guess, then Wonder Woman was dealing with capitalism because that guy 84 wanted that box that like gives you all kinds of powers to think.
Let me tell you what happened with 1984. DC doesn't have their shit together, but every guy in that movie was a rapist. Every single man who spoke in that movie.
Even Chris Pine?
Chris Pine wasn't.
Is it Pine?
Yeah, and he's like the hottest guy. He's the hottest
Chris.
He's so hot.
Yeah.
So hot right now. He's so hot. And even Wonder Woman. There's some guy walking around. Chris Pine took his soul over.
Yeah.
And then Wonder Woman had sex with him. She pretty much molested a guy who was in a coma. It's like everyone in that movie raped someone.
Yeah, it's kind of like Overboard, where you're like, that movie Overboard with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, where you're like, this is rape.
Yeah. Did he have sex with her?
Yes.
Oh my! He had sex with her when she didn't remember who she was.
Yes. Saying that I'm your husband.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had also. Look, the rape. Look, we can get into that in a second.
Yeah.
But I'd also just like to tap that. I think that he made her clean the house rape.
Yeah.
Like that's like he slaved her.
Yeah, and then they came back together at the end. Where she's like
Stockholm syndrome.
Yes.
Gee, and then he married her in real life.
Yeah.
Or was with her in real life. I bet that was a double. He was like, let's get you in this movie. And then they do the movie for 6 months. Then she gets used to being his husband in the movie.
Yeah.
And they stop being in the movie. And he's like,
Hollywood is disgusting.
Kurt Metzger.
And I want to get right in there. Get me in there.
It wasn't Kurt Metzger, Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. I love that you're like, confuse Kurt Metzger with Kurt Russell.
I know that guy, Kurt Metzger. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
So what happened with Michael Bolton?
Oh,
I'm going to breathe for a second. Let's just take a 2 minutes. Sorry.
So I just started I saw on TikTok
Mm.
an advertisement for the new dating show, and they had Michael Bolton singing some song
Mm-hmm.
to the new contestant who I think was on The Bachelorette.
Mhm.
And you listen, you're like, as much as Michael Bolton was cheeseballs, amazing voice,
Yeah.
and so uplifting.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear one of my favorite songs from Michael Bolton? And I'm going to tell you this great Michael Bolton story.
Okay. Yeah, I want to hear.
Michael Bolton has that song, I Said I Loved You, But I Lied, right? Which is like, that's fucked up, dude. You're an asshole.
Yeah. ...
my friend. This is too strong. Love, what is it? I said I love you, but I lied. I was wrong. Love cannot be this strong. He's saying the normal sense of love is bullshit. What I have for you is stronger. It's like, man, you fooled me, then you twisted me. He's got
but
an
that's
angel.
like, doesn't that sound like manipulation and gaslighting?
He's gaslighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't invite you to my parents' house, but what I give to the table is stronger than that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is gaslighty. It's also like negging.
Yes.
When you go like, dude, you look
Nice
very pretty
pant.
in that dumb shirt.
Yeah.
You know, you go, what?
I can't believe only you could pull off a shirt like that.
We got to get, so my ADHD is, you have anything you remember from being a stripper? Any stories? I can't believe you were a stripper for a year or a week.
It was like on the weekends, probably for about 4 months. Here's the thing. I also took
What year?
97.
Whoa.
The fall of 96.
The fall of Sarah. And the fall of.
Yeah.
And do you remember anything?
No, I remember I remember really not liking it. And I also remember this.
Imagine.
I remember that you would find a lot of money on the floor because they would just be falling out of their underwear, and that's how I made money. And you could also find lots of drugs on the floor. They would drop their cocaine packets.
Whoa. In the back or in anywhere?
In the dressing room area. And then
You made most of your money just from sweeping.
Yeah, it's just sweeping. That's how I do most of my money. Also, I just remember the business. I just remember being like, this is not what I thought it. I thought it was going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was going to be making like $1,500. It takes a certain kind of
whore
lady. Yeah.
Just kidding. No.
No, but
this is
like,
a non-slut name podcast.
it's just like, I just was not raised that way. And I was just,
What were you pulling? You were not
nothing.
raised as a stripper?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think it takes a certain survival skill, and I don't have that survival skill because I didn't have that. I didn't need that growing up.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you have to be raised really bad or like so good.
Yeah. That
like,
you can just separate the two.
That you could just go, oh, I'm so confident that I could just go in there and have a good time because good times are me.
Yeah. And it won't affect me mentally.
Right.
Yeah. I could. Yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of wanted to be a stripper in the way of like, I'd just love there and have a good time.
Yeah.
Like go in there like, hey, what's up? What's
dancing,
I love dancing.
socializing.
Yeah. But I think 90%, I'd imagine most strippers aren't coming in with that mentality of like, oh, this will be a blast.
Yeah. They're like, how many men can I scam today?
Yes.
And the guys are thinking that they're pulling.
What are they getting?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Yeah. They think they're sometimes going to get a girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah. There's some guys that think they're going in there to like meet a lady.
Who could think that?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I did get a girl, stripper gave me her number once.
That's cool.
I didn't call her. I was scared she had AIDS. I was young. She was like a penthouse model of the year. It was like this insane woman I had met who just was like all over it. And she gives me her number. She goes, I'm not supposed to do this, but take my number. Call me. I called her and she was like, let's go out. Let's hang out. And I just kept going, she probably has AIDS. Because I was a kid and I was scared of AIDS and I was scared of everything.
Everybody thought
I dropped the ball.
they had AIDS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever think you had AIDS? You ever have sex with someone and go, nah, you definitely got AIDS on that one?
It did crush your mind in like I guess out of high school. But then I went to a clinic in Houston in the Montrose area.
Mm-hmm.
And when the questions they ask you, you realize that I'm at low risk. Like extreme low risk for HIV.
Yeah.
Because it would be like,
what's the high risk?
how many times have you had sex in a day?
Mm-hmm.
Or have you had multiple partners in a short period of time? How often do you go to bathhouses? Then when I went for the results, they were like, they were legitimately like, okay, so you're in a monogamous relationship and you've been this way and you know that your partner's not cheating on you. It was pretty much like, why are you here? Yeah.
I have the exact same story.
Yes.
I went to a clinic to get, I was like, I have AIDS. I walked in, I said, where's the line for people with AIDS?
Yeah.
And they went over there and they pointed me to the AIDS line. I get in and I need to be tested. And they were like, okay. They started doing it. They go, well, what happened? They're like, what's the thing? I was with my girlfriend. We've been together 3 years and the condom broke.
Yeah.
And I pulled out. And so I don't think she's pregnant. And they were like, and so then heroin?
Yeah.
And I was like, nah,
Yes.
the condom broke. And they were like, does she have the partner? She says no. How old are you? We're like 17.
Yeah.
She maybe had sex with one other person at the time. And they were like, she's like, we'll run the test.
Yeah.
But you're fine.
Yes.
But every time I would have sex without a condom, I would go get tested for AIDS.
Yeah. Well, it was just brought, like, you were just scared. You were
Yes.
so susceptible in it, which is, you're supposed to be practicing safe sex, but you realize that at these clinics, the amount of data that they receive, they
Yeah.
are like, we know exactly. It's highly promiscuous and intravenous
Yes.
drug needles.
And like
Dangerous sex.
raw
Yeah.
anal sex.
Yeah. Several times a day
Yes.
from hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time. At the same time. And I'm like, my condom broke.
Yeah.
Maybe when it was off of me.
Yes. And then those cases are so far and few between.
Right.
Yeah.
1 in a million.
Yeah.
But you think you're that person.
Yeah.
That was that thing all the time. That's so funny. I
And
always
now
think
that everything is like, they have all the medicine and they know how to treat it now, like you can just live with HIV
wonderfully.
for a long time and have a like very prosperous life.
Do you get disability for having HIV?
I think, yeah. I worked with a guy that had HIV. This was really crazy. He waited tables with me.
Mm-hmm.
He never called out sick. And there would be this one guy that would call out sick all the time. And I'm like this, I don't understand that Gary with HIV comes in 5 days a week, never calls out sick. And you're calling out sick every weekend. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, Gary with HIV is like 15 minutes early or you're 15 minutes late. Gary with HIV. Oh, good old Gary.
Oh, sweetheart of a man.
Knew anyone who died of AIDS? I don't know.
But, speaking of, he would get business grants. Some like, I think you do get some breaks with
for AIDS?
HIV. Well, I think the medicine, you have to have like a high cocktail of it.
Oh, it's probably a lot of pills.
Yeah.
I'm taking a lot of pills anyway.
Yeah. So
A
we're
couple
good
more
to go.
pills.
Yeah.
Do you take any pills?
No. Well, now I'm taking prenatals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why am I afraid to ask you about something you just said?
Yeah. Yes.
Because you're trying or you are?
Yes.
Or nothing?
Well, trying, but we know the odds are slim.
To have one?
Yeah.
Oh, so you just keep trying?
Yeah, we just keep
Oh,
trying.
that's great. I also knew that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got scared.
I
You're
guess
the one who
because we're
said
on a
something.
podcast. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. I would
Yeah.
love to have you guys have a kid. I'm having a kid.
I know.
Do you see that?
I'm excited.
I know, me too. I felt Joe, it's so funny because I was like, Joe was one of the first people I told. And I was like, I don't remember if I told you first or him.
I think
Maybe
you told
Joe.
him first because then he told me.
Right.
And then when you told me,
I could have
I was
told.
like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but what you don't realize is I had told you before, but you weren't paying attention.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. 'Cause that-
You are. You pay attention pretty well.
well, I'm on my phone a lot.
When I'm talking to you. Hey, hang on a second. I'm doing a business call here.
I know. I feel like I've blacked out more from being on my phone in the last 10 years than if I was when I was doing drugs.
I got to tell you this, just so you know about me, the more it looks like I'm paying attention, the less I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting here like, what am I doing? I'm actually listening. But if I'm going like this, what I'm saying
You're
is,
zoning out.
I have no idea what she's saying.
Yeah, and you're
How do
trying
I
to get
fix this?
back into the conversation.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
lost it completely. That's why I'm freaking out. I didn't take my Adderall today. I take Adderall. That's my pill.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have ADD?
I
ADHD?
think I do, but I also think a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
this is just the direction that we're going in.
See, it's like,
I check off a lot of boxes, but there are also a lot of main boxes that I don't check off.
It's a hard test because if you don't have ADHD, you're just stupid.
Yes.
So it's like you really want it. You really want to have an excuse for why you do. But I don't agree with that. Actually, what I'm saying is jokes. ADHD, I think that like is mostly smarter people like us.
Yeah, like
because you get hyper into things.
Well, I remember saying that I thought I had ADHD, and then somebody's like, "You're not hyper." And then I found out the hyper part. I actually feel like I get hyper focused when I can sit down and work on something that I can go hours without taking a break.
Yeah. That's the thing. So ADHD, there is no ADD. ADD is bullshit. That's not a real thing. They've gotten rid of it. Everything is ADHD, and hyper has nothing to do with you being like, hey, oh, hey. Yes. Yeah. Because I'm not, I guess I can be like that, but it's like a lot of ADHD people, it's just like you said, like it's this hyper focus on something. Like and one of my favorite things that they say is that the mundane is torture. So if you have to like wash a dish, the difference between me and on my Adderall, if I do not have Adderall and I drop something on the floor, I go, well, Tita's gonna have to figure that out.
I've had that. We just got a new window unit, and the old one is sitting on our floor. And I looked at it the other day before I went to bed and was like this. All right, you're going to be there for about 6 months before I do anything about it. It was big trash day on Friday, and I had all the time in the world to take it outside, but I just didn't want to deal with it.
They should sell things like that in stores. Be like, this is an air conditioner for those who will put it in, but for the ADHD, this will be a new table. Yeah, which will be great. This will be a great place to put your sweatpants. It holds tons of cups. So, like, if you know you're never going to put it in, it'll be fine because it's totally what it will be for me.
No, like one time. A few years ago, Joe bought a bed frame for us, and we really thought we had a queen size bed. But of course, I don't like doing research. I don't want to find. So we really thought we had it. So then he gets it delivered. We put the mattress in there. Clearly, we had a full. Yes. Joe's embarrassed that he got these guys to do all this work, and he didn't want to be like, "Sorry, guys, I fucked up. This is not right." Yeah. So we put the queen full size box spring on top of the bed frame and then the mattress. Our bed was like 3 feet away from the ceiling, and it was like that for a full year. Because I was like, I can't.
Wait, why was it so high? Because
we had the bed frame, the box spring, that the full. Because I couldn't just have a box spring hanging out by itself somewhere else in the apartment. So I was like, we'll just put it on and then the mattress. So then our ongoing joke would be like, before we got into bed, I'd be like, all right, I'll see you up there.
You get a trampoline and just jump to it.
It was so high up that you're like this far from the ceiling. But it was a thing that as soon as it happened, you just know, you're like, okay, this is going to be a thing for my life. This will be an ordeal for 6 months. Yeah.
This is now just what we do.
Before I hit a bottom. I mean, like, we got to get this fucking out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, that's my whole life.
Yeah.
I mean, this room had become, I had bought so many action figures in this room that I just stopped coming in here. Yeah. I was like, I don't go in this room anymore. And it's too much of a thing that I'm trying to sell them and get rid of some just because I have so many. And it's like, well, I can't. That's it. I'd rather just give them. Some of them are worth a lot of money. And I'm like, I don't care. Just throw them at someone. I can't do this.
You have to take photos of it. You got to write a little synopsis about it.
Yeah.
And then it just sits there on the marketplace.
Do you do things like this? I just take boxes because I'm like, well, I'll have to ship something one day. And I have 50 boxes, just garbage sitting over there because I might have to ship something one day instead of just throwing it out. And now I just have garbage everywhere. Wires. I am drowning in wires.
Oh,
in this place.
There's two. I can't throw out wires because you feel like you might need them.
Yeah, my whole life is that.
Yeah.
I throw no wires away.
But can I tell you, there will be 5 years later, I'll be like, fuck, I had that wire. And I was like, when am I going to need this wire? And now I have to go buy this wire.
Now you have to get it for $3 on Amazon. It's going to come tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's really what happens.
Yeah.
But I could have kept it. I have 15 iPod first generation chargers in there. When am I going to run into an iPod? When am I going to, on the street, be like, iPod spinning classic?
Yeah.
I got you, dog.
The box, it's so nice.
Why?
The box that the iPhone comes in, any packaging, I'm like this. But I might have to resell this, and this will go higher if I have it in the package that it came in.
No, who cares?
It's so ongoing, the mental real estate I think about. all of this stuff.
That's my big problem with the. I keep these boxes, and then the reality is because Tita is cheap, and I'm not cheap, which is good because I'm just so bad with money. But it's like, thank God, if I was cheap, I would keep every package. But it's like, no, just throw the box away and take the hit on the money.
Yeah,
take the hit.
It's worth it.
Yeah, I have that dresser. It's filled with nothing. It's filled to the brim.
Yeah,
with nothing, just shit.
Yes. Well, Joe has that, and it drives me insane.
What?
I just like a container of. Just like underneath our bed. I just got a nice plastic container just to put all crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a junk drawer.
Yes. That whole dresser is junk. My whole room, my whole life I have a junk life.
Yes.
I'm living a junk life. How are we doing on time? Because I get scared from Mike.
Mike, are you there?
No, we have work done. It's good.
We're
40
good.
minutes.
Great. Next question.
Michael Bolton. We never got into Michael Bolton. I didn't tell you my Michael Bolton story.
Yeah. This
Can
is like
I?
an ADHD
I love
podcast.
it.
Okay, let's
That's
go
how I
into the
live.
Michael Bolton podcast.
Is that okay?
Yeah. At least you remembered.
Well, I wrote it down.
Yeah.
I wrote it down. My nephew, by the way. Oh, man, this kid's cute. He's going through puberty. So now when he talks,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, hey, bud. He's like, hey, you doing? And I'm like,
Oh.
yes,
Why does that happen? It's so crazy.
because your voice drops, but not at one day.
No, that's unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was like, hey, everybody. We're like, hey. And now he's like, hey. It's like, oh, my God. It's so hilarious.
Mom, some of us are going.
That's him right now.
Yeah.
It's so cute. And he's the best. And he's like a little man now. He's like almost like he's going to be 13. And he's like a man.
Yeah. They're like, they just come in like, Mom,
Yeah.
can I borrow the? You're like, yeah. Who's that dude? You're like, that's my kid.
That's the thing, too, is what's cool about them is that they're half Portuguese, half Thai.
Mhm.
And the mom looks like a white person.
Yeah.
You know, but her child, one of the girls, is fully Asian,
Yeah.
which is funny because people just don't think that's her kid.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that's what happens with me and Tita, because then I get this adoption credit that I didn't deserve.
Yeah.
You know, I walk around, people are like, you hero. And I'm
You're
like,
such a great man.
I know, Cambodia, the mother.
Yeah.
We found them in a river.
Yeah.
And he just so happened to have my giant nose.
Michael Bolton.
Is this a funny joke? I'm going to get to the Michael Bolton thing.
Okay.
Just tell me if this is funny. I'm not yelling at you, by the way.
Sure.
Because I had this realization that was like, man, I really want an Asian kid.
Yeah.
But if I get a full Asian kid, but he gets my body, I'm just going to have a Kim Jong-un. This kid is going to look just like Kim Jong.
Yeah, there's a high chance.
Very,
I still don't
that
know.
body?
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong Greg. Is the kid.
Yeah.
Well, he's adult now.
Yeah.
That's a kid. My kid's going to look like him. And I'm afraid for his Michael Bolton. So I'm going to tell you the story. I'm going to try not bit it up. And you have to also understand that it has become legendary, meaning some of the facts, I don't remember exactly how a lot of this went down, but I do have pictures because it did happen. But I tell the story so much that you go like, I don't know even what became funny and what became real.
Okay.
So I'll try to tell you the real version of it. We straight edge. I didn't drink till I was like 30 or some shit, or 27 or 28 or 29.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Yeah. When you were getting sober, I was drinking. That was happening with most of my friends. They were like, I'm done.
I remember drinking Craig.
What?
Yeah.
Drinking Craig?
Greg.
Have you thought my name was Craig this whole time?
Oh, no. I said Greg. It just sounded like it.
Yeah, like I didn't.
remember you having a few drinks back in the day. I remember doing a show at the Creek during one of the award show, doing a set, and then I hear, psst, and you're off on the side in the curtains.
I remember this.
Sarah.
When you were on stage talking to a crowd.
Yes.
And I pissed you. Hey, psst, psst.
Well, shit didn't matter then. But at the time, I was like, you know, you feel like you're always getting you might get discovered that night.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless this drunk host is going, psst, what are you doing?
Yeah. Hey, I'm in the curtains. Where all like the cords are.
Jesus.
The backup mics are.
Like, that's fun. I mean, looking back, it's like, that's funny, I guess. But
it was
like,
really funny.
No, but it's like, what the hell was I doing?
I don't
what
know.
What the hell was wrong with me?
It was just the
You're
Creek.
trying to do comedy.
We're at the Creek. Nothing mattered there.
I kind of miss the Creek.
I do too. I'm like, where are all those lost souls hanging out?
Yeah, they're dead. COVID killed them all.
Roaming the street.
They all moved to Austin.
Yeah.
Also, I think that club's like selling out every night now.
I know. It's like the best thing Rebecca ever did.
So happy for Rebecca.
Yeah.
So mad that I did a show at the Creek for 8 years
In
that
New
had
York,
3 people.
when we could have gone to the cooler
I know.
All right. Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton. But
Drinking straight
I
edge.
didn't know you drinking.
No, I think you met me when I got sober.
Yeah, I was like new to drinking when I had probably met you around.
Yeah,
there.
I got sober in 09.
09. Oh, I may have. Well, I don't know when I met you. Well, nice. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so I didn't drink. And I was dating this girl who was older than me. She was like, I was like 24 and she was like 29 or something. I don't know, whatever it was. It was a big age at the time, but now it's like nothing. Yeah.
That feels big.
Yeah. She was a buyer for Toys R Us. So she would pick the toys that Toys R Us would sell.
That's exciting for you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
So like we go to this event and it's Toys R Us does this event for kids, like cancer kids or whatever. And they raise money. It's at the Marriott in Times Square. They do a big thing. The New York Giants were there. There's celebrities. Rosie O'Donnell was hosting the thing.
Yeah.
It's her last week for the company. So she's like, I'm just going because this is always a party, but I have no stakes here anymore. She's like leaving. So she's like, I'd wear a tuxedo. She's like a nice dress on. She goes, why don't you have a drink? And I was like, well, I don't drink. And she was like, look, we have a limo. We're safe. I'll tell no one. Just have a drink. See if you like it. And at least this way, if you want to do this or not.
Yeah.
How are you fighting something that you've never even tried? And I was like, all right. I had one Malibu Bay Breeze.
Okay.
And my head was on the table. I was just like passed out. Because I'm a lightweight now.
Yeah.
And 40 and fat. And I'm like, that was my first drink ever. And I was like,
I'm done.
Done.
Yeah.
The next thing I really remember, because I remember it was like crazy, was waking up in her bed the next morning. And she's standing there and she has photos that she went to CVS, had them developed, came back, and is standing in front of the bed. And she goes, I wake up and she's smiling and she goes, what do you remember about last night?
Oh my God, this is so fun.
And I went, something about Cabbage Patch Kids. They were Cabbage Cats. Did I? And she goes, yes.
Yes.
Every table got one limited edition Cabbage Patch Kid.
That's amazing.
Yes. You have 6. So it's like, oh my God. And then she starts going, what do you remember about Michael Bolton?
Michael Bolton.
And I was thinking, yeah, Michael. Doesn't really ring a bell. Bolton. I go, I don't know anything. Michael Bolton, that guy's a fool.
Yeah.
I was trying to be, and she goes, I was like, I don't know anything about him. She goes, you're a liar. You know every word to every song he sings. And then she starts showing me pictures. And I go, oh, it starts coming back. And I'm like,
yeah,
what happened? She goes, you were passed out. You had the one Malibu Bay Breeze. Your head hit the table. I was fine. You're like, I'll just pick him up and I'll drag him home. It's time to go home.
Yeah.
Fine. She goes, and then Rosie O'Donnell got on the microphone and said, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your musical guest, Michael Bolton, to which case you sprang to your feet. So you jumped up, you looked at me and you went, I have to do this. She said, I ran past the New York Giants were there, ran past everyone. Michael Bolton started playing, but no one gave a shit. Like at the time, it was back when it was corny to like him.
Yes.
Which is lame.
Where like he'd be on an Old Navy commercial.
Before that.
Yeah.
This is, I don't even know what year this was. This was like, but yeah, even.
I would say it sounds pre-digital camera phone.
It definitely was.
Where she's developing stuff at CBS.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe 06?
Something around there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely before New York. It may have been like 04.
Okay.
Around there. And it's crazy. I should figure out how to date this day. Anyway, so like she goes, you ran past everyone. Michael Bolton's playing. No one gives a shit. You jump on stage with him. And the type of stage was just like a rug.
I love this.
She was like, you sang every word to when a man loves a woman cheek to cheek. Like you're doing, and people started getting up. People like getting into it now because you're just like owning it and like, I said, I love you, but I lied. And she's like, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like, why didn't anyone stop me? And she was like, because you were destroying. He was having a bad time. You came on stage. Now he's having a great time. Everyone's having a great time.
Validated Michael Bolton.
Yeah. She's like, you're killing it. She shows me the next picture and it's Michael Bolton literally with his face like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, this is a hilarious picture. She goes, oh, right. This is when you grab the microphone out of his hand,
Oh God.
looked at him, and then looked in the crowd and said, rock me hard and fast, Rod Stewart, and called Michael Bolton Rod Stewart to his face. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I was like, and I kind of remembered, but I was like, was he mad? Did I embarrass her?
Yeah.
She goes, he didn't give a fuck. You guys
No.
did more songs. You were killing it. He hugged you. You got off. Everyone like screamed. You went back to the table and passed out again. And then I just picked you up.
He's like, you know what that gig probably for him was when I do a rehab gig for people detoxing, and I know that it's going to be awful.
Yes.
But I'm there to pick up my $100, and I still find it to be the easiest. He probably goes in being like lowest expectations, and then you took away his time, and he's like, I don't even have to work. This guy's doing all this shit for me.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That was a corporate gig for him.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fans. He's like, I'll do my songs. People are going to be shitty. At least if he does his own fans, people will sing the songs.
Yeah.
I went on stage. He had a great time. Easy night.
Yeah.
Went home.
He's like, this guy is doing all the heavy lifting for me.
He's getting the crowd involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said Tita. Carrie was her.
Yeah.
I was like doing like the clap over the hand. I was grabbing people at tables, like trying to get them involved. Just like immediate party Greg. Like it was a guy who was like, I had never drank before. And I'm like a notorious party.
You were awakened.
To the beast was awakened. And that was like the first time I ever really drank. I didn't drink for like a few years later, or I don't remember that thing.
And she was like, she loved it. She was,
yeah, she had a blast. She was like, she was like really cool.
well, I guess it was her
person.
last week there anyway.
She didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
She was ready. I have pictures too. They're on my like Facebook page.
Well, I guess when you're telling the story, Mike can edit some photos in between us right here.
Yeah. Can you edit that in, Mike?
He's gone.
Mike is gone. Well, Mike is currently working on the lighting. He said, I'm gay. Is that what he said? I'm gay?
He says, I get it.
I get it.
Or something
He
like
can.
that. It's weird because we can't see him.
I know. You can't hear him. He's just in another world.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I have to tell you, Adrian and I always loved your idea of the fake producer.
Oh, yeah.
We gave you credit for it on our podcast.
Really?
We'd always pretend that we had a fake producer. But we were like, Greg started this.
I don't care.
But we'd be like, Jenny. Jenny, can you put a JPEG on that?
Jenny. Hey, how was Jenny? She's probably, if you had a Jenny fucking failed vag.
She failed vag miserably.
Would you want to come back and do this more? Because I think I want to have you come and then have guests.
I would.
And then it's just you and me, and then we talk to somebody else.
I live down the street.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah. I'm not doing anything during the day.
Yeah, and also
this feels productive, and this is easy.
This was pretty.
We have a good time.
Yeah, I always click well. I think you and I always do good stuff together. You have all those great videos. We acted in them together. I want to do more. We have another one.
Really well.
Did well.
People love Gary's sausage, and I really do want to explore the world of Gary's sausage.
Gary Sausage is the kind porno creator.
Just walks around Astoria casting.
Yeah, what was that? Yeah, because he found you crying, and he was like, "Hey, you want to get into some porno?"
You seem like you're hitting a bottom.
Oh, my bad. You're not all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna force anything.
And I was fine. And you know what? We had the lady that owned the post office tell us we couldn't shoot there, so we had to do some camera trickery.
You fixed that.
I had to fix it.
I don't know how you figured that out.
Extreme close up, baby.
So they came, so we were filming, and then the post office owner came out, and she goes, "Y'all can't film here. I'm from the South.
Yeah.
And in the South,
Y'all
ain't no
can't-
filming in the post office."
No, it's a federal offense. And I'm like, how so?
But what did she say? She went, I remember her literally going, "Y'all can't film here. Y'all want to put me in this?"
And then she kind of did a little
Dance, yeah.
And then I was like, no, because you just ruined everything. I was so annoyed. I'm like, and then I asked, I was like, can we just finish what we're doing? I have 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
She was like, no. And then we filmed on the side, which was still on
We did the same thing.
government property.
We moved 5 feet over.
Yeah.
Also, I think we could have just said, "Oh no, we're not filming.
Yeah.
We're up. This is really happening."
Yeah. We're just practicing.
Right.
Yeah.
We're doing dry runs.
Yeah.
My name is really Gary Sausage, and she's really crying.
Yeah. Get
Who
outta
were you
here.
in that?
I
Were
Just
you
me.
you?
I was me.
You were Sarah?
This is my world that I create.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
It's like a fun Sarah. You have to check out this video. How do I get them to check it out?
Just go to Instagram or my YouTube channel and subscribe to my channel.
This is what I tell people to do. Because here's the thing. We tell people go to .com. No, just type Sarah T into Google.
Yeah.
And comedy.
And go and have it.
Yeah, and you'll find it. That's why you could tell me the website. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to Google and just typing the things I can remember.
Yeah.
Just type Greg Stone into comedy into Google, and then you have 2 clicks. You'll find it.
Yeah, easy. But sometimes I like, when you go to Panera and then they're like, would you like to sign? Do you want a free sandwich? Or like you can get, or do you have a Panera card? And you're like, no. And they're like, you can get a free sandwich. And I'm like, oh, that sounds great. And they're like, okay, here's the card. You got to go home and then activate it online. And you're like, what? I'm not getting on the computer to activate a Panera card. Like, why can't my Panera card just be activated?
Why can't you just give me a free sandwich? Because I'm crying. I'm bleeding. Can you give me a sandwich because there's blood coming out of my mouth?
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you this? I don't know if I ever told you this. I signed up. They got me with one of those.
Yeah.
I'm 18 years old in Bergen Community College. I walk into the cafeteria where a guy goes, "You want a credit card?" And I went, "No, I'm too irresponsible." And
Yeah.
they said, "How about this basketball rim that goes over your door in your office?"
Yes.
I went, "I would love that." And they go, "Well, get a credit card. You get that." That's
Yeah.
a $15 thing.
With a 54% interest rate.
It was, and I'll tell you, the number was 30%. It was 30%. I got the credit card. I put my entire semester of college on the credit card, had to have surgery because I fell and hurt my butt. And that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
Had to have surgery on my butt, could not go to college or work. The $1,500 Bergen Community College semester turned into $8,000, which I paid off 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So 2001 to 2000, I'd say 18, I had $8,000 that started as 1,500 that was raping my credit over a basketball rim that I broke 3 minutes after hanging on my door.
I would love it if you're like, but that basketball rim brought me the greatest joy in my life, and I would do it all over again.
If I was Kevin Durant, maybe. But look at me. I could name 5 basketball players off the top of my head. Larry Bird, Kevin Durant, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Larry Sanders?
No, he's not. That's the Larry Sanders Show.
Brigantine? Who's the redhead guy? The tall redhead comedian?
The one.
Braceford?
I know
Dolo?
who you're talking about. He gets to be on the roasts.
Yes, he's
And
tall.
he got to go to JFL and
Yes.
do galas while we're like, ugh.
Griffin!
Yes.
Blake Griffin.
Yes.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Mike had to stop masturbating for a second to tell us that. That's what I like to imagine. Mike is working so much that he has to put his masturbation time in while he's also producing podcasts.
Yeah, he's Jeff Tubening.
He's not, and I'll say this, he's a respectful guy. He's not masturbating to us.
Yeah.
He's got other things going on, but the guy's got no time.
No.
The guy's got no time.
You got to get one out.
You gotta get one out.
Get one out.
You gotta get one out.
Hey, I say you can masturbate on my time. I don't give a shit.
I don't care either. Mike knows we have an open masturbation policy in my home. What were we talking about?
Credit card debt. But I don't know how we got activating Panera cards and
Right. And they ruined my credit.
yeah, I know. I had several friends that fell into the same trap. And then I was grateful that I never went to college straight out of high school because of it.
Just scam.
It is the credit card situation back in that day was a scam for sure.
30% interest.
I know.
I was 18.
And they did offer you like you can get a football phone.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're like, I love football phones. I don't have a phone and I love footballs.
Yeah, it's bad. Anything? All right, we'll wrap this thing up because Mike's got a hard out on his hard on.
Yeah.
Let's real quick, Sarah. What can we see you? How can we see you? How do I look at you?
Just get online, dude. In Google, Sarah Tollemache.
Yeah.
My website's Sarah T Comedy and has the links to all my social media if you want to go there.
I will say, if you don't know Sarah well, I think most of my fans know you.
Yeah.
Your videos are so good
Thank you.
like leveled up because they used to be. My God.
Well, it's a process.
No.
I treat every video as a learning.
That I clearly was so joking.
No,
but the last one was so funny. But that's kind of true for all of us.
I am making effort. I go on YouTube's and I do tutorials and I learn how to do proper edits and I'm trying to figure out the right filters and it's work.
You and me are similar in that way of like.
Yeah, we complain about our podcast partners.
We were on a podcast for a very long time with people who did nothing.
Technically, they weren't. They don't have the skill set that we had, and they're better at some things than we are. Yes, we're being positive.
Things.
But they would be like, they don't even know how to copy and paste.
They don't even know how to copy and paste. These pieces of shit. I had a guy sleeping on my podcast.
Yeah.
Just go to sleep, middle of the podcast. And then Brendan tried to kill himself.
Yeah.
That's not helping our video editing.
You're like, here's something that could preoccupy you with your depression. Get on YouTube and learn how to edit. But it's just certain people don't have that. But it's like, we enjoy that. Like, if I don't know something, I'm like, the online is just university.
Right.
It's a tech school.
It's all free.
You can learn how to cook. You can learn how to edit video. I'm like, when people are like, I don't know how to get there, you're like, Google it. I get so mad when you're like, you have a phone, just fucking look it up.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the phone in your hand literally has all of the information. And I think Elon Musk said that like we technically already are cyborgs, but it's just like you have to use your hand to get into that. So like you're literally just not looking far enough into your brain.
Yeah.
Like you won't sit and think hard enough about it.
Yeah, be your own help desk.
Yeah.
If there's anything that we learned from this,
you can do it all.
Be your own help desk.
But your videos are so fun. They're so good. They're really, really good. And I think that everyone should go watch. And I'm in a one.
We're doing one.
We got a couple
soon, and we have another one coming up.
We're doing one soon, and then we have another one coming up. Yes, I got to call that guy. We can handle that off the air.
Can handle it. Yeah.
I got to call that guy.
I know. I always want to talk about our business online.
I love talking business.
Yeah.
We're
like, okay, Tuesday. We're like, nobody wants to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great. This was great. This was fun. How can I do this better? Is this okay?
Yeah, this is great.
All right. Because
I love it. I don't think there's anything you could do better.
Well, I think I could clean the room. No.
I like it. I mean, if you look at other podcast studios, this is what they've got going on.
And it's fake.
Yeah. This is all real.
This is all real, baby.
Yeah.
You like any of these guys?
Oh, I love them. I don't even know any of them, but I'd like to get to know them.
Yeah, like who do you look at and you go, I like that guy?
Well, it's just like checking out
Mary Jane?
Yeah.
Look at this fat guy.
Cool. Is this Kill Bill?
Close. It's Iron Fist, but he's wearing the suit that Kill Bill. Actually, Kill Bill was a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a man.
That's a man.
But they're wearing the Bruce Lee hat. This is a Build-A-Figure that you do.
Yes, I see your parts.
Yeah, but all I have is the head for this guy. His fat head.
Chubby head.
Anyway, and there's John Wick. You might know him from a movie.
I keep meaning to check out those movies.
They're fun.
Yeah. I like them. I started Birds of Prey and I enjoy what I was watching.
Oh, John Wick is a comic book movie.
Yeah.
No.
It's not?
No.
Oh.
John Wick is an action movie.
But it could be a comic book movie.
Very well could be.
Yeah.
Oh, Birds of Prey was fun. I'll give you the good movies.
Okay.
Anyway, we got to get cooking here because Mike's got a hard out. He's got to go punch. He's got to go suck Bobby's dick.
Oh, yeah. Joe's doing that podcast. I get it.
The Suck Bobby's Dick podcast?
Yeah.
Joe is doing that podcast? That's fun to know because he was supposed to do this podcast.
At 2. Joe has another thing at noon.
Oh, you better defend your husband.
I am defending him.
Also, Mark was supposed to be on
He did have
today.
an obligation.
He also asked me 3 weeks ago to reschedule.
Yeah.
So that's fair.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you know I love Joe.
I will always be Joe's fallback and I don't care.
Well,
Hollywood is all about nepotism, baby.
Hollywood or Astoria's podcasting scene.
I consider this Hollywood.
I know. All right. Hey, guys, if you're enjoying this podcast, go to my Patreon. There's so many more fun episodes. Although this could be a Patreon episode. I don't know. We don't plan this. I've just been recording them.
We do it.
There's so many good tiers and there's so much good things. We've got a lot of great things coming up. I just released 5 songs from my album on Patreon. You could go download those.
So excited.
I made 5 songs. You got to hear them.
I
You
love
might love them.
I love
They're
it.
crazy. All that stuff is good. Follow Sarah. Follow Mike Suarez at MikeVSuarez.com. He'll tell you. What is it, Mike? He's about to
He's
come.
out.
He's coming.
Mike V. Suarez.
He's about to climb
Just
out.
Google Mike V. Suarez. Anyway, that's it for us. Thank you guys so much. See you soon. Whip it up. I forgot to whip it up for Sarah. Whip it up. Yeah, Star Trek. Goodbye.
Pick up your head, pick up your body, get on the bus, it's time to party. It's Gregory, it is a Saturday night, Gregory. Take your socks off and take your pants on, get in the car and drive on Friday night, Gregory. It is a Saturday night, Gregory. Born in the darkness, my man was too high. He created the show, so that is why that you have Gregory. Oh, Friday night, Gregory.